This is an assembly guide for the double trading card box by Laser Bear Creations. This file can be found on my Etsy shop and comes in multiple material sizes. The first thing you want to do is measure your material and select the correct file. I masked my material to reduce burn marks. Once it is masked, you're going to want to make sure that you pin your material down if you plan on using magnets, because you will be flipping parts that you cut out. Once you get your file uploaded to whatever laser cutter you're using, hit the print button and get going. I made a small mistake here by printing one of the pieces the opposite direction of the grain. Make sure that you pick which way you want the grain to go. The files are laid out optimally to reduce space and size and change depending on which material size you use, so arrange as needed for your project. This is why you had to put something down to keep the material in place in order to engrave the magnets, or if you're going to just do a circle around them and use a drill, you cannot have the base material move. So once everything is cut out, you want to flip these 4 pieces over so that the magnets are perfectly aligned. Do not move your base material or your magnets will be in the incorrect spot. I also like to mention that you don't need to use magnets and it'll work fine without them. I engraved mine. I did forget to mask the back, which made it hard sanding, so I would mask both sides. I started off doing this incorrectly. I put the side piece and the front part on of the base. Don't do like I did. I made quite a mess here, had to redo some things, and I also had some damage to the box. So what you're seeing here, just learn a lesson you can learn from me, which is start with the middle divider. That's the way the box is supposed to go together, but I did not start that way. But no problem, I've got the bottom piece and now the middle divider. They can go either way. It doesn't matter which direction you do what you want to do. I did stain mine. Again, it's your project, do it how you like to. Once you get the middle divider in, you can start by adding a side piece. You do want the magnets to face on the outside of the box, not in towards the middle, towards the outside. I'm using Gorilla Wood Glue. Use whichever glue you would like. The file I'm using is also the Kerf version of the file, so this is a file that material and size has been added back into the project, so that way the box will be put together in a nice tight fit. There are a few pieces that do not have kerf adjustment or don't need it that I omitted even in the kerf files, so that way that the hinge on the box operates smoothly, so you don't really need to worry about sanding any joints or doing anything to make the box function. It should work just fine. Did have some issue with some of my pieces not fitting in. That's why you see me using a hammer. The material I was using had some variation in its thickness, so a few pieces were really difficult to get in, but with the hammer I didn't really have any issues kind of knocking them in there. I also started off using way too much wood glue at the start of this project. I think I got rattled just from the beginning. I don't know. Don't use as much wood glue as I do, or use something else. But I'd have to do a lot of cleanup in this project. But I don't mind. Using wood glue creates a nice solid bond. So now I added the front there. This is me fixing my mistake. I don't know if you've ever done this, but as I've test fit boxes and I've pulled them apart, this seems to be a common issue where when I pull them back apart, especially if they've got adjustment for kerf, it'll kind of pop the fronts out that I've already stained and kind of makes them kind of gross. So if you find the pieces, I simply just add a little bit of wood glue, pop them back in there, and they're good to go. As you can see, I also use toothpicks and a paper towel and my fingers to clean up all the wood glue that kind of comes out of my box. Just the way I do it. Now we're going to add the other side. Again, here you'll see the magnets need to be facing on the outside. If you're not using magnets, it can go either way. All the pieces, I think all the pieces on this box are pretty much symmetrical, so you don't have to worry about which direction. Now we're just going to add the other face to the box. This is all for the bottom portion of the box. We're going to build the top part of the box after we complete this. You should have the bottom part of the box complete. You can set it to the side and let it dry. Now for the top, you're going to need to build two of these. They're pretty much identical. The engravings might be opposite, but it'll fit together no matter, I think, how you do it. This is the top part of the box. You're going to assemble these 4 pieces. If you notice, I like to add wood glue on 2 pieces that I'm putting together. I just feel like it kind of creates a better bond when you put them together. Each surface I know has a little bit of glue on it. As you can see here, I like to squeeze it together and make sure the wood glue makes good contact. Wood glue traditionally needs a decent amount of pressure to bond, so maybe you don't need to use as much wood glue as I'm using, but definitely need to make sure it's making contact and it's tight together. Now we're just going to add the other side to this piece, and that'll complete it. Again, you should have a whole nother set of 4 of these to put together. And by 4, I mean like 4 pieces to make 1/2 of the top part. I had already assembled part of this one, so that's why you didn't see me do the whole thing. This is just the other half of the top of the box. So you should have 2 halves that look identical. Now these pins are what make the hinge work. There's 2 options. So you can have these straight pins right here that go in. That'll keep the circles in place. Some people have a problem with their material warping, so I came up with this design that I haven't seen before, which is this kind of bar T-looking thing that you can put in both the holes, and it kind of clamps or keeps the top pieces of wood in place. They're a little delicate, so when you're putting them in, be careful, but I like to add a little bit of glue. Make sure you don't add a ton of glue because you don't want them to stick to the top of the box. That's the part that moves. The piece that I'm putting together does not move, and you want the top part to be able to function. And again, there should be 2 of those put together. You can do the other one in a little bit. But here are the top 2 pieces. The next step is to put them on. I'm just showing you that that's where it goes. Don't put that in yet. So you've got to actually attach the top of the box to the bottom of the box. If you are using magnets, it's nice because it puts it in the right place and you don't have to worry too much about it. Now all you have to do is line it up and shove them in the holes. So this is the part here I'm being careful to not add wood glue too close to the outer side of the circle, or it could seep out, squeeze out, and touch the hinge, and then my box won't work, and that would not be a good thing. As you put it in there, I like to push it in fairly firm, but you don't want to do it too tight, because if it's too tight, I feel like the box won't function as easy. So just kind of play with it a little bit. It does need to be loose, but don't make it like clamped shut. And here you're simply doing the same thing to the other side. Feel free to give the box a little test to make sure everything kind of fits. For some reason, mine always feels a little bit hard to open and close as it's first been put together. I did learn something though. If you don't get your magnets all the way in or deep enough in, one of mine kind of stuck out a little bit. It will have a little trouble opening and closing. So I was just fidgeting with it here and I was noticing some resistance. I thought it may have been like the fit with the box, but the magnets were definitely giving me some trouble. And that's it. Your box, once it's dried, should be good to go. Hope you enjoyed it. Please check out my Etsy shop. You can search Laser Bear Creations. I'm on Facebook. We've got a Facebook group called the Laser Cave. And also we're on Reddit. Subreddit is Laser Bear Creations.